So that was a great advantage because Epic knew like, okay, we gotta take these little cool kids, we gotta take them serious now.
Mm.
And then the record came out, and once the DJs in New York, got it. Tell Me became our last record that we recorded because we had under the control composition clause, we need to add some more records. So it was kind of like, what do we do? So I was like, I don't know, let's just do Tell Me Over. Like, fuck it. We did it for Rhythm and Bass in London. We gave it to Trey Lorenz. Sony didn't like it for him. Let me and Daryl fuck with the beat and do it again. And then we just changed the beat, and then she sung it. It was her song to begin with, but it was just kind of full circle. But it was the last song that we recorded that
Wow.
we didn't think anything of at all. And then it just spread like wildfire once it came out.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and you had Trey doing the ad lib at the back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, it was such a, it was such a, as I said, it's hard to describe what kind of a song. I mean, her voice, but it wasn't, it was just so soothing. I mean, but did you not think it was, did you not think this was a, you didn't think anything of it?
Mm-hmm. It was a song we heard a million times,
Okay.
and it was just like, all right, Bryce did something different to the beat. That's all it really was. It really was like, why don't you re-sing it to this new beat I made? Same shit. Let's just get it done. That's all it was to us. It wasn't, we heard no hint of a hit record in there at all. We honestly were just trying to fulfill the amount of songs we needed on that album.
When it but when it blew up though, did it surprise you completely? Did it blindside you? Like, wow, this is.
Yeah, definitely did. Because it was, this is like my second success. Mantronix was probably the biggest record I've touched internationally.
Mm,
So I experienced how it blew up that way.
yeah,
It was still heavy on the radios in America, but it was I don't even remember how that really happened. With Groove Theory, it was a thing of whenever me and my cousins would go out, every car that's going by is blasting this record, and we looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? It's just crazy. Like every single car that's going by, every club we go to, and just watching everybody's reaction to it as people are like first hearing it or like, oh,
yeah.
that's the song. What is that? That's yeah, it was interesting. It just spread like wildfire.
How did that? But then having that hit single when it's not the song that you really thought was going to be blow up, how does that change the direction of where the label's going and where you're going to, with the rest of the album?
But me, it didn't. For me, I didn't look at it like that because if you notice every song Groove Theory, not one song sounds like the other.
Mm.
Every song is pretty much a stark difference from the song before or after it.
Yeah.
So to me, I was just like, all right, let's get to the next sound. Like 10-Minute High was probably our favorite.
Mm.
And 10-Minute High was definitely the favorite before Tell Me. So we were just like, let's get to that. It was the label that was like, it's not big enough. And we were like, but it's cool. And they were like, we're not going for cool. We're going for, and that's also when you start to understand music as a business
As a business,
and as a
yeah.
brand, that being artistic and creative is not, that's not the formula.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I used to remember watching you and thinking, he's in a group, he's not singing. Did people wonder why you didn't sing, or like they expected you to?
Yeah, they when so we did it, right? And I was, we did everything, and it was like, all right, we gotta do the artwork and this and that. I was like, all right. And they were like, so you have to be, and I was like, okay. And I'm gonna watch Amel take her pictures. They were like, no, you in the group, you gotta take pictures. I was like, I don't want to take no pictures. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be in the camera, none of that.
Yeah.
I just had a different mentality then. So that's why I was faded out of the album cover.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
album was single one, but I faded myself out. I was like, get me out of focus so they really can't see me. I'll just be some figure, but focus on her.
Yeah, but as I said, when I heard Trey, I thought it was you because I mean it
It
just
makes
didn't
sense.
make it made sense that you were the, because
Yeah.
we didn't see, we just
Yeah.
assumed you were the singer. But why
Yeah.
didn't you do some rapping then?
No, I was done with that.
Ah,
When I walked away from that, that was it.
but then So after the album blows up, I mean, and especially at that time, you know, we had Kadar out in starting to the neo soul. So we had D'Angelo coming out, Angie Stone and Erica Badu and all that sort of vibe was, you know, moving to that Maxwell. So it was almost as if the industry was like doing away with New Jack. You know, you had Diddy doing his stuff and you had the East and West Coast doing their stuff, but there was space for the type of music that you guys were doing. There was an expectation from all of us that, okay, man, we can't wait for the follow-up.
Yeah. We were the follow-up material we had was incredible. It was really, really dope. But where we were going personally, it was never going to happen. It just wasn't. When we put out the album, me keeping myself out of the focus backfired on me. Where Amel is the star, as she should be. She's the front person, and I'm in the background, which is fine. But then I started getting treated like the background, like way in the back. So we had a clothing budget of say $2,000. I would always give it to Amel. I had money. I'll go to Barney's. I'll spend $1,200 on the shirt, and I'll go to the show. That's just what I did because I self-funded this thing anyway. You know, that I didn't mind. You know, there were a lot of things that I felt Amel needed because she's in the front. But then it started getting a little crazy, and I started hearing rumors. Over Epic, the rumor was, well, Bryce doesn't have the talent. She's the one with the talents. When they break up, we're taking her. And I don't like this. Just certain things don't put me in war mode. Like I'll lose every battle, but I will win the war. So when I started hearing that, me and Jimmy would talk, and Jimmy would be like, "Yo, we gotta strategize something." And I'd be like, "Yeah, we gotta figure this out." But I was kind of more caught up on how can they do that? Like this is my shit. I started it. You know, I was kind of just a little bit more sensitive about that. And I'm young, and I'm like, why? To me, I'm kind of like, for a minute, you're like a victim. Like, why me? Why are you doing this to me? And then I was like, all right, I gotta flip it. So what happened was I had a big crush on Toni Braxton. Like a huge crush. Like I'm marrying her. She's amazing. Like that's how I was the first time I saw her. So Billy Woodruff, the director, saw her at BET and got me a signed autograph.
Wow.
That's it. Something like "To my future husband, see you at the Grammys," right? So, you know, I was ecstatic about that. And out of the blue, I kept getting these phone calls from everybody. They were like, call me. I'm like, yo, what's up? Your girl wants to meet you. She's in town. I'm like, Tony? They're like, yeah. Okay. So I go, I meet Tony. I meet L.A. Reid. Me and L.A. clicked immediately. I gave him some beats. He's in the studio. He's playing the beats. And he's like, you know, he's a drummer.
Yeah.
With a drummer in the deal. So we're going to connect over the beat side of music. And he heard it. And then I just like switched over that camp. Like in New York, you have to be down with Russell Simmons, Andre Harrell, or Puff.
Okay.
That's the gateway. Me, I went to Atlanta, circumvented everybody, and Atlanta was selling way more records at the time. Dallas, Austin with ABC,
Monica,
Jermaine Dupri with Bow Wow to Brad. Or like Atlanta was really moving units, and then of course TLC, was the king. So so a lot of that honestly was to level the playing ground. I played in Atlanta with the big boys to level the playing ground and to leverage that against Epic. And, you know, because I was just getting played. Like left every opportunity for me to get played, I was getting played.
Wow.
And then that switch from me doing the Tony record, Groove Theory we didn't even go gold. And the Tony record selling 270,000 units a week, like for like 30 weeks. It's at 20 million now, you know? So when that happened, of course, everything changed. They fired Paris Davis. I went and did a video for Craig Cameron at Atlantic Records. I'll do this video, but you gotta give my man a job. we'll give him a job. He got a job. Me and Jimmy moving on, negotiating, producing for everybody on the planet at that time. And him going back, doing these little shows with Groove Theory. It just didn't really make sense anymore. It was like the power dynamic shifted back towards me. And I wanted to be like this because I would tell him, like, yo, we write like these little, hits that are like really easy and basic. We can write them in our sleep. Let's just do it for a lot of people.
Hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you loved what you watched, there's over 100 artists that we've interviewed. So please check out the videos. Remember to like, share, how not unsubscribe. But better still, become a member of Halftime Chat and get exclusive videos ahead of time. But thanks for watching. Take care.